Hi, everybody. This is Mark Sterneman,
I heard you say, how
Vice
about that,
President
pretty
here at
clearly?
NetLaw. I want to thank everyone for joining us on our weekly Wednesday webinar series. Great to be with everyone again today. Winding up March, which is one of our big promotion months. As most of you know, it's the buy one, get one free promotion that's back this month. It has been a huge success so far. We are way up on our monthly numbers, so thank you to everyone that has went out and told their clients, or maybe even purchased the program themselves. Thank you for telling them all about NetLaw and all of the great advantages that come with a great NetLaw program. So today we've got a great webinar. Stan Craig is with us as usual. He is going to talk to us about advanced sales skills, and it's a part 2 of last week's session. He's going to keep talking about all of the great ways to go out and open that door and talk about NetLaw. Great ways that you can communication starters, what to do, what not to do. So very great webinar today, and he'll be with us just shortly. Just want to kind of go over quickly, as I usually do, just kind of the basics here, and talk first about the March Madness promo that we got going on. Of course, it's the buy one, get one free. It ends this Saturday night. So March 31st is the last day for it. And remember, it's a buy one, get one free. So on every fully funded plan that you or your clients purchase, they will actually have the ability to get 2 plans, one that they purchased for themselves and one that they can give away to anyone of their choosing. So it's a great time to get out there and talk to your clients. Maybe you haven't spoke to them in a while. You may have offered NetLaw to them a while back and are just getting back around to it. There's no greater way to lead that conversation with a buy one, get one free, right? So great opportunity for all you guys out there. As we know, one of the big differences that separates NetLaw from everyone else out there is that we were actually created out of an estate planning law office firm called Hargrove Madden. It's now transferred into Hargrove Trauber, but what we did at the law office was we only serviced wealth clients. So you needed a lot of money to come in and get your documents done. But we were really missing out on, 60, 70% of the states. And it was like, why aren't we servicing the people that really need this? The average, modern day family, a mom, dad, couple kids running around. So these are the people that really need the plan. And as we know, 60% of Americans don't have a will, and 90% don't have the full suite of documents that we offer. So, as salespeople and as financial advisors, talk about low-hanging fruit. 6 out of every 10 people that need at least one document that we offer. 9 out of 10 need the rest of the documents. So great opportunity here. In 2012, we were awarded the James Keene Award for Best E-Lawyering Practices. What it said was we had the best online delivery of legal documents throughout any type of law firm throughout the United States. What a great honor that is to be awarded that excellence in lawyering. It's just perfect. It's everything that you want to win if you're an online technology company like we are. So by having that award, we were able to come into financial agencies like the one that you work for and offer this product to all of the agents out there. So we went from just a small startup company to having thousands and thousands of agents selling our product every day. It was a great honor, and it's a great way to take what we did back at the law firm and be able to get it out into the hands of everyone in the U.S. Everyone that needs this plan. So what a great opportunity for you. As always, the plan comes with a will. It comes with a probate avoidance living trust. This trust is revocable, so you can go in and change it at any time. It also comes with a power of attorney document and 3 healthcare documents. So you get your medical power of attorney, your living will, which is end-of-life decisions, and your HIPAA authorization. The plan also comes with a life vault. Stan's talked about this many times, calling it the treasure chest. So what it is a place where you can go in and store all of your important documents, not just your estate planning, but everything. passports, pictures, deeds to houses, titles to cars, grandma's cookie recipe, everything that's important to you that you don't ever want to lose can be stored in this vault as long as you can download it and upload it into the vault. The plan also comes with a national network of attorneys. So if there's any kind of document that we don't offer that your clients may need, we can get them connected to a vetted attorney that will be able to help them get the documents that they need. And as always, one plan covers both spouses. So the husband and wife can share one plan for one low cost. Great plan. As always, we have as new agents, you get the first 30 days that you're registered as a net law agent, a free buy one, get one free. So we know we have the big buy one, get one free going on for everyone right now until the end of March. But isn't this a great way to recruit new agents? Remember, with net law, you don't need a license to sell this product. So this is a great way when you're out recruiting new agents into your company, that they have something that they can go out and sell right away. They don't need to wait for a life license or anything like that. They can start selling this day one and start making commissions off of it. So it's a great way to bring new recruits in. It's a great recruiting tool, and they can make money right away. Remember, it's the first 30 days that they've signed up as a net law agent. I'm going to go ahead and bring Stan Craig on now. He's going to talk to you again about advanced sales skills, and this is part 2 of the webinar that we did last week. So really excited to hear what Stan's got to say this week. I know it'll be informative, and I know you'll really get a lot out of this. So Stan, take it away.
Thank you, Mark. I'm really happy to be here and to have a chance to chat with our friends again. It's for me, it's probably one of the most fun things that I get to do during the week is having a chance to chat with you all. And I'm really pleased to have a chance to talk about advanced selling skills. One of the things that is true about our profession is that we always need to learn more. The community changes, the people we're talking to, their attitudes change, the demographics change, and it's a tough profession to always be up on top of and to know exactly what's the best way to approach clients or the best way to approach others who are in our field. And today, that's what we're going to talk about. Last week, we talked about how to get referrals without ever using the word referral. You may remember that we talked about the conversation where you ask for some help. It's probably the most powerful way I've ever found to keep your referral pipeline full and yet never ask for a referral. So I hope you've seen that and reviewed it. It's online if you want to look at it again. As you know, the slides are always there for you, as is the recorded presentation. Today, we're going to talk about the second advanced selling skill. A number of years ago, actually not that too many years ago, I was a part of the team that did all of the training for one of our major financial firms. Myself and my 2 partners, that's what we did. We spread out across the country and we trained every new hire. We started with the basic skills and then we went to our advanced skills program. One of the first things was how to be sure that your pipeline of referrals stays full. And the second is what I'm going to talk about today. 2 are better than 1, wouldn't you agree? And a threefold cord, the Bible says in a wonderful book of Ecclesiastes, a gentleman who's pretty cynical about everything, but not about this. The threefold cord's not easily broken. And that helps us in this business because sometimes we feel like we're the only ones out here, right? Only me. It's just me. I'm the only one. I'm the only white knight out here doing battle with dragons and trying to be sure that I take care of the family that I want to love and protect. Selling is a lonely profession for some people, isn't it? It's lonely because it's a one-on-one conversation, sometimes us, the sales agent, with a variety of people that we're talking to, whether it's in a seminar or family setting. And that loneliness can sometimes frustrate us because we just don't get the feedback we want or the encouragement we want. And sometimes it's hard to do, especially in financial services. It's really a more solitary profession. I think that's true because financial services is, 1, it's a specialty. There's not a lot of people doing them. And 2, there is a lot of competition. It seems like everywhere you turn, there's another office for a financial advisor of some sort. And now everyone is calling themselves financial advisors or wealth managers. So the competition is pretty keen. And because of that, we seem even more isolated when we're one among many. Sometimes there are very few mentors as well. How do you overcome that bit of being alone, feeling solitary, and trying to find a mentor? One of the things I enjoy the most about the organizations you represent is you have mentors. We've talked about that before, that your leadership has a stake in your success. I think that's wonderful because there is encouragement and mentoring available just for the asking. But we're going to talk about how to build a different source of assistance through mentors. Because sometimes in financial services, successful people want to protect their turf. That's just true in nearly everything because you are their competition as well. And you can't always get the time of the most successful people that you want to talk to. I so appreciate Jay Mamie when he was with us in Las Vegas, sharing everything he knew about his business and saying, call me. But the truth is, most of us feel intimidated to call someone, even though they've asked us to help. And our questions are more than just a yes or no. It takes some counseling. Successful people sometimes are so busy and sometimes not as free to share as we would like. And that makes difficulty sometimes in getting a mentor. One-on-one presentations are difficult when you're sitting across from someone who has demonstrated success in their profession, someone who is very successful financially in whatever their profession is, a doctor or a CPA or an attorney or a small business owner. Sometimes it's hard to talk to those guys. They have a different language, and that's one reason why what I'm going to talk to you about today can help you overcome that. And some professional clients intimidate me. You know, when you're talking to the biggest client I ever met, not in terms of size, but in assets, were two gentlemen who invented the plastic bag machine. They invented the machine that would take a block of plastic, slice it off in these little pieces, fuse it together, and print on both sides. They are used all over the world, as you know. Everywhere you go is those plastic bags. While they may be responsible for a lot of pollution, and they're also responsible for a lot of wealth, the most wealthy people I've ever spoken to. And when you sit down and talk to guys who know more than you do, are more successful than you are, especially when I was just starting the business, it is intimidating. I remember saying to Mac, what would you like for your money to do for you? And he said, listen, I decide what my money does for me. I only have one job for you. You protect the money I give you. So, I was trying to ask the questions, how can I help? And he said, there's only one thing you can do. Take care of the money I give you, period. I know how to make it. I don't expect you to do that for me. Yeah, that was a little intimidating, but it was true. And I'm glad he told me. You think I ran new products by him? Not at all. Not at all. And it was a great relationship for us, and I really enjoyed him. Sometimes we think we have too little experience to talk about money and wealth, especially if we're just beginning in this business and we come from maybe even a part-time place where we don't have a lot of financial experience and we don't have a lot of financial resources. The best thing about the businesses that you are in and the people you're working with is they've made an opportunity for people like you and me. People just like you and me who have drive, who have ambition, who have interest, and will even accept someone who doesn't have a lot of financial background. I've told you I was once a pastor, I was a church leader, and then divorced, and then coming into this business and didn't know anything. But that's the great thing about this business. If you can overcome all these ideas, it's a lonely profession, financial difficulties are part of my background, financial information I'm not really good at. I try to talk to successful people, but gosh, they're just too busy to talk to me. I find one-on-one presentations with some people a little difficult. I can be intimidated by some clients, and I'm concerned about my lack of experience. I'm going to show you how to overcome all of that because two are better than one. So what does that mean, two are better than one? Well, today we're going to talk about creating a mastermind group. One of the things that's important is that you understand just a little bit of how life works. I've written a book called The 5-Pointed Compass. This is an unashamed commercial because it's 99 cents, right? It's 99 cents, available on Kindle and Amazon, easy to get, but it's written for financial services because it's my experience of how I went from poverty to Park Avenue. But the first point of the compass is that the past doesn't determine your future. You know what that means? That means what happened to you yesterday is not going to determine what happens to you tomorrow. A sales failure, a frustration, a difficulty in your life, anything that is hanging on to you and pulling you back, man, that's yesterday. The past doesn't determine your future. And the second point is you have resources all around you waiting to be tapped. What does that mean? One of the things I discovered is all around me were places and people that could help me become what I wanted to be. That not only would they help you, but they took an interest in being sure that you were able to achieve your success. That's what we're going to talk about today. How do you find those people who can give you an attaboy, a pat on the back and say, did you think of this? How do you find the right resources? Well, that's what a mastermind group is all about. And that's what we're going to share with you today. Remember last week we talked about Mel Fisher and the Atocha? That treasure was, what? 35 miles off the coast of Key West, Florida, and 50 feet of crystal clear water. People were getting hung up, cursing their luck because their $4 fishing lure snapped their monofilament line because it got hung up in $400 million worth of gold. My goodness gracious, there's resources all around you, and there's resources in your immediate area. Your community has a number of resources available for you, and here's the wonderful part. They're individuals just like you looking for you. Do you think you're the only salesperson out there who's feeling a little bit lonely and by yourself? You think you're the only salesperson who would like some encouragement, like to have some mentors, like to grow your business? I guarantee you there are more people out there just like you looking for you. So you look for someone visible. How do you find a mastermind group? How do you create a mastermind group? Well, you look for someone who's visible. You look for someone who's wanting to grow their business. You look for a coffee companion, not someone you can sit down with for 2 hours every day and talk over your business, but a coffee companion, and you look right under your nose. Let me just describe a mastermind group to you first. A mastermind group is when 4 people or more, and I'll talk about how to grow it, 4 people or more who are in a selling profession. Frankly, I want to talk to people who are selling their skills, who meet together at a regularly scheduled time, talk about their business together. That's what a mastermind group is. It is a group that's accountable. For example, you and your other mastermind group members are accountable for being there. You are accountable for bringing together information that's going to benefit each other. A mastermind group is motivational because it is encouraging to hear what someone else is doing. And if you are not doing so well, it's encouraging to get help from others. And it's educational. One of the best things about mastermind groups is you can tell each other what you've learned about the people and the demographic in your community, what works and what doesn't work, what kind of things are helping them find new business to help you discover the same. Because remember, these are not people in whom or with whom you're in competition. They are people who are selling, but they're not selling financial services. The other thing a mastermind group does, man, it helps you get smart. You get wise. You start learning things that you never even thought about before just by listening to other salespeople talk about what they're doing. Mastermind group is generous. Not in the sense that we pay for each other's cup of coffee, but we share with each other what we know. And knowledge is priceless. Priceless. And knowledge applied is power. So what we want to do is be generous in sharing what we know, our sales thoughts, our sales presentations, what books we read, what tapes we listen to, how we approach clients, what really works. And a mastermind group is smart. Do you know why it's smart? Because we're speaking truth to each other. That's the smartest thing you can do, right? Is speak the truth to each other. And the idea of a mastermind group is we all are going to serve one another. We believe in servant leadership. I'm not here to sit on the mountaintop and tell you my vast experience and what a difference it makes coming down from the mountain to you poor souls down here. And I'm not one of those guys who says, well, I have nothing to add because it's poor, pitiful me. The truth is, everyone in that group will have a servant leadership attitude. That's what you want to create, a servant leadership attitude. I'm here, and I'm here to serve, and I'm here to serve you. And I'm here also to be served by you. We're here to grow together. Mastermind group is a wonderful thing. You can probably already see how it would be a benefit to belong to such a group. So how do you belong to one? Well, you create it. You create your own mastermind group. Here's how to do it. You know, one of the things I'm trying to do in every webinar is to tell you how to do it. It used to frustrate me to no end for people to say things and tell me this is what we ought to do and never tell me how. Gosh, it just bugged me to no end if I didn't know how. Mastermind's a great idea. Getting referrals is a great idea. Learning to open the treasure chest and talk to your clients about the vaults. But if you're not told how, it's an incomplete presentation, isn't it? So let's talk about how to create a mastermind group. So let me talk to you about recruiting. You recruit one person. Well, how do you find who to recruit? Good gracious, who do I want to talk to? Let me give you some tips. One, you want someone from a profession other than what you do. I mean, the truth is, we are in competition with other financial professionals, especially in other firms. You don't want to talk to another financial professional because you are both seeking the same kind of clients. So who do you want to chat with if not someone in your own profession? Well, the answer is obvious, isn't it? You want to chat with someone in another profession, but who is successful at selling. Let me give you one quick tip. Anybody selling houses in your neighborhood? When I walk around my neighborhood and see for sale signs, I always see the name of the person. In our previous community, when we lived in Kentucky, I'd walk around, look at the signs, I kept seeing the same name. Well, guess who I wanted to sell my house? That person. That person was really well familiar with our community. And that name is someone you can call. And here's what you say. Marianne or John or Frank or whomever it is, I'm Stan Craig, and I'm calling from my office here in Nocatee, my office in Jacksonville. And I'm calling because I'm interested in growing my business, and I see your name all over town, everywhere I look in the real estate advertisements and in the neighborhood. I'd like to ask you if you'd meet me for a cup of coffee, and both of us talk to each other about what it takes to be successful in sales in our community. I'll tell you what I'm doing in my firm's financial services. I'd like to know what you're doing that's helping you be successful. I'd like to meet you for coffee at Starbucks. My treat. Was there a good time when it'd be good for us to meet together? Some version of that script, your own language, will work really well. Because what I've learned about salespeople is we all want to know more. We all want to be better at what we do. Another thing, look for a CPA firm. There are CPA firms. Do you ever get those things in the mail? I get them all the time in my letter pack. I'll see a construction guy who's trying to grow his business. I'll see a landscaper who's trying to grow his business. I'll see someone who is looking to do my taxes this year from his own firm. Man, that's a guy you want to talk to. Why? Because he is aggressively seeking growth. Call him again and say, John, this is Stan Craig. I'm calling from Nocatee. I'm an agent with XYZ firm, and I'm looking to grow my business. And I see that you are too. I got your mail, and I thought it was really attractive. I'd like to have a few minutes just to chat with you about what we might be able to do to help each other grow our business. You have a lot of contacts in your area. I have some in mine, and I think it may be helpful for us to just spend a few minutes talking together. That's what you do. And you set up the appointment. You can call a CPA. You say, well, I want to call a landscaper. Who works harder than a guy who owns a landscaping company? And who knows more who's moving into your business and who's paying their bills and who is not? You know, don't ever think, I don't want to talk to this person. Every person who is successful growing their business in your community is a person you'd like to talk to. But especially a CPA, especially a lawyer. There's a great contact. A CPA, a lawyer, a real estate salesman. You know, I see guys all the time advertising their services. Look in your community, see who's most aggressive. Find a young attorney and just call that firm, especially the ones that have their name on it. And then just introduce yourself again. This may be your own attorney, someone who's helped you in the past. And you say the same thing. I'm Stan Craig. I'm with XYZ Agency, and I'm looking to grow my business. I'm having a great time doing it. And I'd like to sort of chat with you about what you're doing to make you successful. I could share with what I'm doing to be successful, and perhaps we can help each other grow our business together. How about having coffee with me to talk about it? You're going to find that other salespeople really want to do that. How do you get the next person? Listen, all you have to recruit is one, just one. The first time you meet with coffee, you explain the concept. You discuss what I've done. We're accountable, we're personal, we're sharing, we're generous. All those things. It's motivation. We're going to help each other. Tell them what a group does. And then say, I'd like for us both to recruit another person. Do you think that would be a good idea? Do you know of anyone who would like to belong to a business growth function where we just come together to talk about how to grow our business? And you'll be amazed when they say, my next door neighbor works for blankety blank, and yeah, I think you'd like to know him. He's a good guy. Or, yeah, every morning when I go to coffee at Starbucks, there's a guy there and he's always passing out his cards. Introduce each other. And then you all discuss this person together, and both of you decide this is the person you'd like to invite. So the two pick one, invite them to talk, and then the three of you pick the next person. Who do you think would be good to join our group to talk about business growth? And what you do is really talk about business growth. Here's how a conversation begin. How did your week go? I had a great week. What made it a great week? Well, I was able to open 5 new accounts and create some new relationships. I've got some new prospects in the pipeline. How did that happen? Well, and then you share with each other what's going on. Or I had a terrible week. What happened? I lost 2 sales. How did that happen? Well, this is what I did. Have you ever had that experience? And you just really help each other grow. Let me tell you, the group is a powerful group. Everyone has a say in who is recommended, and the recommendations will raise the value of the group. The ideal size is 15. That's really big, but 4, 6, 8 will work. You get more than that, it's hard to meet at Starbucks, but it's easy to meet together at a little local restaurant and have coffee in the mornings once a week, like Bible study groups and businessmen's groups and other groups do. But the only limits are the ones you want to implement. For example, there's some things you don't want to talk about, You do want to rotate the agenda. This time we're going to talk about how to meet new people in our community. What's going on in our community that would allow us to meet new people? Do you put up a booth in the 64 Plus Expo that's being held downtown? Does that work? Do you spend the money to do a mailer? Does that work? What really works in reaching new people? And then you rotate the leadership. Next week, John, it's your turn. So you bring the topic together and we'll talk about what is you'd like us to talk about. The topic is always growing my business, but it's a segment of that: meeting new people, finding new prospects, developing client relationships. Do you entertain clients? How do you do that? I mean, do you find that works or just a waste of time? When you talk to prospects, do you meet them for coffee? Do you call them on the phone? How do you do it? It's a mutual sharing and accountability sharing that takes place. 7 to 10 members works really good. 15 can be a lot. 7 to 10 works really good. Because, frankly, not everybody's able to meet every Thursday, right? It's spring break time. I have kids. You don't. It makes a difference. 965 members? Oh, yeah. 965 members. This is a lady, financial advisor for a financial firm in a medium-sized town in the Northeast. And she attended the seminar, and we were talking about Mastermind Groups. We spent a whole half day on Mastermind Groups. We practiced recruiting, and she thought it was a great idea. She went back and she called another lady that she knew who was an attorney and said, we're both trying to grow our business. We're both facing the same sort of difficulties. I'd like to meet you and chat with you over coffee about how we can grow our business and be more successful. She said, I love that. So they had coffee. And the two brought another one. The two brought another. And pretty soon someone said, could I bring so-and-so? She's my friend. Could I bring so-and-so? She works over here. And then they had 8. And then, well, maybe what if we did this? Then we had 10. And then before long, I'd like to invite somebody else. But what if we meet for lunch? Well, I can get us a table and we'll go there and just be Dutch treat. She kept going and going, and every meeting she kept asking, is there anyone else who who should join us? Tell me about them. Then they decided to invite them, and finally became the point that this group had 965 members that met once a month in a ballroom in the local hotel. Here's what she said. This is the best thing I have ever done. 100% of my business comes from the people in my mastermind group. Now, let me tell you, a mastermind group is here to help you grow your business. But do you want to do business with people you know? The CPA, the lawyer, the real estate person. If they need financial services, who are they going to talk to? Probably the guy in my group. What happens is, as you grow this group and you begin to share your growth, people will begin to ask you, tell me about the real estate business. Tell me about what it means. What is a mutual fund? What is a Roth IRA? And you become a source of information, a trusted source of information for everybody in your group. 965 members? Oh my gosh. She said after 100 people came, they just started inviting whomever, and they started advertising it. She had a name for her group, Business Growth Associates, BGA, Business Growth Associates, but it was for women only. That's probably the reason why it was so successful. Women are really good at some of that stuff, where men just lag behind, don't they? A mastermind group will be critical. Not only will it help you be motivated and reinforced and grow, not only will you find mentors, but you will grow your business. Meet weekly, rotate the agenda, and it's not going to be that difficult. I want you to know, though, you don't have to get an elaborate organization. Someone is the chair. That is, he sends the emails out, tell who's in charge. There's a vice chair, especially when you get to be 10 to 15, who introduces, welcome everybody. John, good to have you back. Mary, we're glad you're here for the first Sunday. Who at least does that. Otherwise, you just sit around and look at each other, you know. And then it's good to have somebody record what we did this week. And it's a simple statement of saying, this week Mary led, and we did this week John led. It's easy. It's basic, but it will grow as a group grows. You may not even want to start within your organization, but once a group gets some size, you'll probably need somebody along. Remember I mentioned earlier there's some no-nos? Well, they are. You can't talk about politics or about any political topic anywhere today without starting controversy. Controversy means one person thinks they're right, another person thinks they're wrong, and it won't take anywhere, probably today more than ever before. You certainly don't want to talk about religion. You can do, as I often do, is I'm free to say that I'm a Christian and I worship in a Christian church, but my goodness, I appreciate everyone who belongs to the community of faith, But you don't have to for me to be your friend. In fact, some of my friends I already know are not members of my community of faith, but are very different in their approach. It doesn't make any difference as long as you don't talk about it. There are no fees. You don't want to talk about, well, why don't we put the money in the kitty? Don't do that. It just gets you lost. And I don't think you need a name. She selected her name for her group because it got big. Most people just call it my mastermind group. I'm meeting with my mastermind group. You don't need a treasurer because you don't want to have money. Money can ruin things. Just, hey, we're buying our own stuff. We're going Dutch. Someone said, Stan, don't you want to punish people for not coming? Don't you want to have demerits if somebody show up 3 or 4 times and vote them out? I mean, if you expect them to show up, surely you want to penalize them. Well, no. These are adults you're talking to. Wait, demerits? Just want to say, hey, we missed you last week. Hey, we missed you the next 2 weeks. Things happen, right? And you don't want to dominate. My goodness, it's so easy for one person to talk all the time. Hopefully, the person who's doing the talking says, John, what do you think? Mary, what happened with you this week? Stan, tell me what happened with you. A mastermind group is a marvelous way to talk together about what's happening in your business, but you don't want to have one person talk all the time about what's happening in their business. And some people, frankly, you may not want in your group after a while. There's an old saying that some people have an effect on everybody. Of that, there is no doubt. Some people light up a room just by coming in, and others just by going out. There's some people that you say when they leave, thank goodness they're gone. So you want to be sure that your group is a group that's compatible, and you want to be sure you don't make it more difficult than it ought to be. The benefits are huge. Huge. You can check your plans. I'm thinking about doing a seminar next week at the country club. Man, don't do it at that club. I did it once before. It was terrible. I'm thinking about getting a booth and putting up. I wouldn't go to that. Let me just tell you, it didn't work. Well, I'm thinking about, you will be amazed how you can check your plans. And when you check your ego and let somebody say, I don't think that'll work, it really works well. Because you want to know what won't work, right? Or at least in my experience, this didn't work, but don't let me discourage you. It's great to talk about what you're doing. You can learn everything about your community. I chatted with someone a couple of weeks ago, and he said, do you know what the number one problem is in our community? And I had no idea. He said, people are living above their means. We have all spenders and no savers. Everyone's trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's kind of the difficulty here. Well, if that's true about the community, what does that say about what I'm offering these people? What does that say about what's appropriate? You can share prospects. Hey, I was speaking to the guy who owns XYZ Carpet, who owns Colonial Decorating, the woman who owns Play It Again, which is a resale company. She wasn't interested, but I think she'd be a great prospect for you. You can use my name. Gosh, referrals become a gold mine when you start telling each other who you've chatted with and if they'd be a good contact. Remember, this is a competition. Most people will need a financial advisor. They'll need an attorney at some time. They'll need a CPA at some time. They'll need a real estate professional at some time. They may need to know the small business owner who owns a recycle shop, or the one who does the cultural decorating, or the lady who runs a coffee shop. All kinds of businesses there. And business building in a group really does work. And the more and more attractive your business is, the more you go back and say, man, my mastermind group this week was awesome. What was that all about? As it gets better, you say, it's really a great group. And if you'd like to join, I'd be happy to chat with you about it. Because the more and more you're attractive your group becomes, the more and more people you'll bring in. 935, that's a real exception. 965, that's a real exception. But you can make this your own. It will benefit you not only to opening new accounts, benefit you in being encouraged, benefit you in motivation, benefit you in all the things we've talked about. If you will say, I'm going to start a mastermind group and talk to one person this week, would you do that? Just say, I'm going to talk to one person this week in another profession, and just say, listen, I'm new at this business, or I've been in this business for some time, but I really want to grow my business. And I understand from the signs I see in the community, from what I hear about you, that you are too. I'd like for us to have a cup of coffee and talk about how we can be of mutual help to each other. If you just try that, you'll begin to see the difference in mastermind. You have to remember the clock is always on today. You can't say, well, tomorrow. Yeah, I'll think about that. Maybe next week, maybe after vacation. IBM had a big sign on every executive's desk back in the 50s and 60s that said, do it now. That's really good advice, isn't it? If you want the benefits, how soon do you want them to start? Next week, 2 months after. No, you want them to start now. And if you have something to share with others, an expertise, my goodness, how long do you want to wait until you help somebody else? Growth is not a given in anybody's business. You know the story. Some people come on like a house of fire and then they burn up, right? They just disappear overnight. Growth is something we have to be concentrating on every day of our lives. This is a new idea, mastermind, but it's based on an old concept. It's called the Mutual Aid Society. Most of us in the insurance business are here because of a mutual aid society. When insurance began, it began as a group of people wanting to help each other, a mutual aid society. Savings and loans also had their growth in that. That's what makes a difference. Someone is waiting for your call now. Remember, I said that before, and I'm going to say that again. There's a prospect waiting to hear from you because they saw today that the market was crazy. They saw that Europe is looking like a better place to be. They saw the Japanese markets change. They saw interest rates are going up. They had a check come in the mail. They're having an income tax refund. There's someone waiting for you to call today. Someone who has a problem that you can help solve, perhaps even with net law. Someone who's a member of family going to the hospital or who's had a loss in their family. Someone's waiting for your call. And I think that's so important. Advanced selling skills, you know what we've talked about. How to get a referral without ever asking for a referral. I hope you go back and review that. Mastermind formula for success. My goodness, let me just tell you. My son is in insurance sales. He works for another firm in North Carolina. He started a Mastermind Group. He left that firm, the firm he was with, and went to another insurance firm. But his Mastermind Group stayed together. He kept meeting with them. Then he started a new Mastermind Group at the new company. Then he went to a third company to become a regional sales manager for that firm, started a new Mastermind Group, but stayed in the other two. Why? Because of how valuable they are. Now, sometime we're going to talk about part 3 in advanced selling skills, and part 3 is really interesting. We're going to talk about the most important thing you need to know in sales skills, and that's how to master you. You know, we have seen the enemy as they as us. There was a cartoon series called Pogo, and that's what he said. We have seen the enemy, and they as us. Sometimes we just need to get back out of the way and let the good things that have been prepared for us come to us. This is a great time. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and I trust that you and your family will benefit more and more from the kind of success that you're going to bring. Remember, no family left behind. Well, that includes yours too. Mark.